I'm watching the extras, Kat.
But do you think it's because we're 40 and dead inside?
No. What? Hi, welcome to The Girlfriend, the Sex Object, the Nag, the podcast. I'm Maria Shehata. I'm a comedian based in London.
And I'm Cat Rhinehart. I'm a writer-director, mom of two, based in Los Angeles County.
Los Angeles County.
The Valley.
How very specific. This is a podcast where every week we watch a movie. One of us watches a movie and tells the other about it. What's the word? Destroy it? No. We rate it. We discuss its female characters and rate it, and we see if they hold up or if they were lost to time. So every week we have a new movie, and this week I watched a movie. I watched The People We Meet on Vacation.
People We Meet on Vacation. This is interesting because this is a very current movie. Usually we do movies that have been around for a minute. So this will be fun to do something that's just came out.
Yeah, it just came out. It's on Netflix now, and I think it was highly anticipated. I know it's based on a book, and the book came out a couple of years ago, and everybody who liked the book really liked the book. And apparently this is one of 4 rom-coms that are going to be coming out from this author.
Does it bother you? It kind of bothers me as a writer-director trying to get movies and TV shows off the ground that everything now is IP. Every movie and TV show that comes out is based off of a book. And that's fine, but it makes me nervous because my stories aren't based off of books. I'm like, am I going to be okay? Or are these stories going to be allowed to come out?
Well, that's the thing. It makes you want to go, do I need to write this as a book first and then have it be a bestseller and then someone will pay attention to me? Yeah.
I have people in my writing group. I have a small screenwriting group I'm in, and 2 of them have reverse engineered scripts of theirs, one a book and one a short story, to have that come out first in hopes that would help get their film made.
Wow, even a short story helps because that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it does bother me because nobody wants to take any chances. So it's they have to have proven things first. So TV shows come out of Britain first, they're oh, it works over there. It'll work over here.
Right. Yes. Ghosts in the Office. And
now they're just looking at well, what are people reading? And if people are reading, they must want to watch it on a film.
We need to go write some books.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. I will say I don't know anything about this movie or book, but I love the title.
The People We Meet on Vacation. Very good title. Very good title. It was written by Emily Henry. She published it in 2021.
That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, it's a really quick turnaround.
Okay, maybe I will write a book.
So, came out this year, written by Emily. I keep saying that. Emily Henry. And then the screenplay was by Yulin Quang and Amos Vernon and Nunzio Randazzo. So Yulin Quang, I think, was the original screenwriter who adapted the book. Because it says Yulin Quang and Amos Vernon ampersand Nunzio Randazzo.
Are those women or men? Do you know?
Pretty sure Yulin's a woman. And yeah, she's a woman. She was born in China, grew up in Kansas. She'd written some things. Amos Vernon is male. Hotel Transylvania 4. So
Okay.
Amos and Nunzio are a writing team. And Yulin, I think she wrote it originally and then they brought them on to add more.
Got it. Okay.
So it's a beloved book made into a film.
Who directed it?
Oh, it was directed by a man named Brett Haley. And Brett Haley, I think he got into the whole YA thing. Heart Beats Loud, All the Bright Places, I'll See You in My Dreams.
I've never heard of any of those, but those sound YA.
AF. They sound YA AF.
Yeah.
So this movie, let's run through the plot real quick. It's based around Poppy and Alex. Poppy and Alex didn't start as friends. They started as people who were leaving college and driving back to Linfield, Ohio together because they were both from Linfield, Ohio.
Sorry, but Alex is a male or female?
Alex is male.
And Poppy's female? And they're friends?
No. They don't know each other. Alex is driving back to Linfield, Ohio. She must have seen an ad or something. That's not clear to me.
Same setup as When Harry Met Sally.
Exactly.
Got it.
This movie is just a conglomerate of all the rom-coms that you know and love. So this is the When Harry Met Sally part, is that they drive from college together. And it also cuts through the years with these two. So basically, it's current day, it's Alex's brother's wedding in Barcelona. and Poppy goes. And as that story unfolds, we flash back to these other stories. So it flashes back to them driving home from college together. And they're the like exact opposite team. Like she's very like quirky and carefree and like, oh God, like I love burritos, which was us in 2015. He's like, don't eat a burrito, my card will get messy. And she's like, I know what I'm doing. Tapatio's so good. Oh, that's really hot.
I'm a free spirit.
Yeah, I'm a free spirit. And he's like, my car. And then obviously burrito goes everywhere. And then for some reason they end up in a hotel together because something happens, which starts their whole getting to know each other thing. So basically they become friends on this road trip. And Alex is in a relationship at that time. There's nothing like, ooh, did they have sex? Like, no, like it's strictly platonic, but that's when they become friends. And he's like Mr. Ohio. He doesn't want to travel. He loves Linfield, Ohio. He wants to grow up and like have kids and just like be comfortable. He's like, what's wrong with Linfield? It's a great place to live. I love it. And she's like, no, I want to go all over the world. I want to travel. She goes, if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you be? And he said Linfield. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, Canada. I don't know. Like he has no imagination when it comes to traveling. And then we learn on this road trip when they're stuck in the hotel that she was called Porny Poppy in high school because she did like the 7 minutes in heaven with a guy who she kissed, but he told everybody that she blew him, which I thought was a bit racy for the tone of this, like what is basically a YA rom-com. It's just like, whoa. She's like, he told everybody I blew him, and so now everybody call me Porny Poppy, and that's why I don't like small towns, and that's why I like traveling, and because you can be anybody you want to be. So they're different kinds of people, but they decide they're going to travel on vacation once a year for the rest of their lives. Like no matter what happens, no matter what relationships they're in, they would meet up once a summer to travel for a week. So the movie like interweaves from present day in Barcelona, brother's wedding, to before. She's a writer. She has some amazing job in New York. Jamila Jamil is her editor. She writes about all the places she's traveled. She travels a lot. This is her thing. And then she gets like a phone call from Alex's brother. This is present day. Alex's brother is like, why haven't you responded to my wedding invite? I'm getting married this weekend, which I think as a brother, you should just accept somebody's not coming to your wedding, right? So she's like, oh, fuck, I didn't see it. I've been off in Prague and Kyoto and all this shit. And then she's like, oh, here it is. But she doesn't know if she should come because her and Alex haven't talked in 2 years at that point because something happened, which will be revealed later. And he's like, but you have to come, whatever. So 4 minutes into this film is when this phone call happens. The brother is in Barcelona already. And there's a background actor that I think is phenomenal because she's dancing that we can't hear any music. She's dancing in a way you would think like somebody would dance in Barcelona. And it's just it's just the best thing to happen since I don't know if you saw like what was this movie called with Julia Roberts? It was Leave the World Behind. Julia Roberts dances in Leave the World Behind. It is the worst thing I've ever seen. And this dance is up there. You gotta watch them. They're so funny.
I left that movie behind. I didn't see it.
Yeah. Anyway, it says a lot about a film that I'm watching the background actors, but I hated this film, and it had all the elements of something I would love. Like it starts with her on the beach. I love vacation. It was kind of humorous at the top. It's beautifully shot. I could have loved this movie, but it just was missing soul. And I don't know what gives a movie soul, but this didn't have it.
It's a rom-com? That's the
It's a rom-com.
genre? Okay.
So she's in spin class. She calls Alex, and then she's like, oh, actually, I have a job in Barcelona, so I will be there this weekend. And he's like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And so then they reconnect. And then we're flashing back to all of their vacations together. And I don't know where they took their first vacation, but they were camping. Poppy and this guy are connecting while Alex is connecting with some other girl. And then he decides he's a different person on vacation because Poppy's like, why don't you let loose, you know? And then he goes skinny dipping in the water. The tide takes his clothes away and he ends up having to wear one of Poppy's rompers, which he looks amazing in, by the way. As an actor, this guy, I don't like him. I think he's dead behind the eyes. He's dead behind the eyes. He's absent. He's not there.
What's his name?
Tom Blythe.
Okay.
And then Emily Bader is the main character, and she's okay. She's kind of quirky, and mostly you're just kind of like, why didn't they just cast Alison Brie? But like, she's got something to her. Like, she's annoying more than she is quirky, but you don't hate her.
I don't know who this person is, but I don't know who like these people are like in their 20s, right? I don't know who anyone in their 20s is. They didn't cast Alison Brie because they probably needed someone in their
Younger.
20s.
Yeah. No, I know that. But you still wanted Alison Brie when you were watching it. But she's fine. So on this vacation, the girl Emily Bader Poppy. Poppy doesn't sleep with that guy because, of course, you can't have a female lead in a rom-com who has a one-night stand. You just can't, right? Like,
Even now, still?
uh-huh.
Wait, and she's in high school when she gets slut shamed for giving a guy a blowjob that she didn't give, right? Because like, what I already have a problem with that because it should be okay that she gave him a blowjob.
Right. It should have been like, I gave a guy a blowjob. Everybody slut shamed me. I didn't think that was cool. You know what I mean?
It's like, fine, because blowjobs happen in high school, even amongst valuable females.
Especially in your high school where sex was like totally faux pas.
All right, so 'cause so far she's so chaste. She kissed a guy in a
Yeah.
closet in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. She's pretty chaste. And like, so she doesn't end up sleeping with this guy because Alex is naked and he needs help. And so that was their first vacation together. They get some weird statue of a man that's like, you just would, it's so big and ugly. You just wouldn't buy it on vacation when you have to fly home. They might have shipped it, but
They don't go into the logistics.
no, and it bothers me because I'm just like, there's how? You must have paid hundreds of dollars to get that home, and it is ugly and stupid, but it plays in later when she's, like, missing him and she sees this ugly statue. So
So that's the Little Mermaid portion of this movie.
yeah,
If we're
wait,
keeping if we're keeping track of all the movies that this movie is a conglomeration of. Is conglomeration a word?
yeah, I don't know if it's the right word, but it is a word.
Okay.
So they reconnect in Barcelona, so now we're back to the present day. And they're kinda just finding their footing again, and, like, you could see that there was something that made them not speak for 2 years, and he's just, like, a little bit kind of tentative towards her, and she misses him and he misses her, but nobody's saying anything.
Can I guess what it is that
Yes,
happened?
please guess.
They hooked up one night,
Yes.
and then it was awkward after.
Yes. Alright, let's flash back. They're in New Orleans, and they're having a good time, and then they're lying to people and being like, "Oh, she's a dancer that won in a contest." And then she's like, "Well, he's good at dancing with me," and so then they both have to dance together. It's like that typical karaoke scene, but instead of karaoke, it's a dance off. They dance and the whole bar's watching, and then, he's just like
All of a sudden, there's, like, a moment where they stop and lock eyes and realize.
yeah, but not yet. So this is just them, like the movie attempts to build like a connection with these 2 that we can hang on to, but we just don't. Like, it falls flat somehow. It's all just sort of surface, like it's like, how you don't like over the shoulder shots because there's no thought behind it. It's just there's no like some rom-coms just do a montage of people getting along, and this is an extended montage. There's no substance to it. Like when Harry Met Sally had a lot of like kind of stand-up comedian-esque jokes in it,
Mhm.
stand-up comedy jokes in
Right.
it. And that's
Mhm.
what really like that's why the movie was so great. There's none of that in this.
Are we supposed to be rooting for them to get together?
Yes.
But we don't care.
By the end, I was just like when they finally do connect, it's like in the rain. They stole that from the Notebook. I couldn't care less. They were kissing, and I was thinking back on the rehearsal dinner, and I was like, why have they gone for an Asian themed wedding in Barcelona? Is all I was wondering about while they were kissing. But why go to Barcelona and have an Asian themed wedding is all I wanted to know. So we attempt to see them like getting along. And then, their partners, like, oh, this is when you learn she has a partner and he doesn't really like her partner, but he wants to be supportive. And then the partner shows up like unexpectedly and kind of kills like the mood for the 2 of them. And then you see them again in Tuscany, and they almost kiss in Tuscany. She has a pregnancy scare, and instead of going to her partner, she goes to him. And his girlfriend is there, and she's like, "Sure, run to your friend." And there's like kind of animosity there. And then
Wait,
they
so
almost
now they're still vacationing together every summer, but they bring their significant others now?
yes.
Okay. I'm so annoyed by this movie because I know where it's gonna go, and I'm like, "Just get there.
Yeah.
Just
It
get
gets
there."
there, and
Like,
you're like, okay.
when is it, like, refreshing or interesting or different, or is it just Hallmark on Netflix?
Hallmark on Netflix. Just recycling other movies into one movie.
Okay. But, I mean, I guess people liked
People
that?
loved it. People on
Great.
Reddit, apparently, like, I didn't see, like, my friend went and looked on Reddit, and she was like, "Everyone loves it. The outliers are the ones who hated it." And I'm like, "I don't get it," because I thought it was so terrible. I'm flying through this plot, Cat. I'm trying. I'm trying to just go as
Well, yeah,
fast
we're
as I
still on the
can.
plot. Okay, so they're at the they're at the brother's wedding, and he's gonna give the speech where he's like, "I'm in love with you. I've loved you since that car ride, whatever, blah, blah." Does he give some, like, monologue like that? And she's
No wedding speech, thank God. No, just in Barcelona, she's in a really hot Airbnb. They can't, like, adjust the temperature or whatever. He's over there a lot for some reason. They talk about what happened in Tuscany, which is that they almost hooked up but didn't. She's like, "I wanna be like, friends again." He's like, "I don't wanna be your friend because he's in love with her, and she loves him, but, like, he's just like, "You're off all over the place, like, you're not settling." Like, and for some reason, like, she's running away from him because she's afraid. She's afraid to love him, she's afraid to whatever. And she's like, "No, but I do love you." And then they kiss, and, as an audience member, I'm like, "Great, whatever." And then you see them getting ready for the wedding, and she's like, "Can you clasp my dress?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Because that dress is the ugliest thing I've ever seen." Um, but it's because he wants to have sex with her.
so they're gonna fuck?
They're gonna fuck, and so they fuck or whatever, and then they're at the wedding, and they're dancing after, and this is another scene where the extras dancing are just I feel like they've been drugged. It's like slow dancing, but one extra's literally holding on to their partner, like, for dear life. Like, you get the sense the other extra is holding this extra up. I'm watching the extras, Cat.
Do you think it's because we're 40 and dead inside?
No. What?
I mean, maybe, like, if we were 25, we would be like, "Ah, this movie."
The only way I'd like this movie is if I'd never seen any of the other movies, which I guess a 25-year-old wouldn't have. It's just so soulless. It's so soulless. Like you got dead behind the eyed male lead. Like, put Hugh Grant in it, or today's Hugh Grant, whoever that is. Like, somebody with some charm, somebody I can understand, like, falling in love with. I don't know why these two ever fell in love. Like,
It's the over-the-shoulder equivalent of a movie.
as soon as someone told me not to eat a burrito in their car, I'd be out. I'd be like, "That's it. I don't have anything in common with you at all."
Don't need a burrito in my car, and I wanna live in this small town in Ohio forever. I know
Yeah.
that for sure, and when I'm at 18 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Those are 2 huge red flags.
Absolutely.
Wait, so they didn't the awkward thing was that they almost hooked up, but didn't actually hook up. Got it. So they didn't actually hook up. So they're
'Cause he was
'cause she's
like,
so chaste.
yeah, so because in Tuscany, like, they didn't hook up, and then he was like, "I don't think we should have any more vacations together. We should stop doing this." And then they
Because
didn't
I'm in
have
love with you and you're not in love with me.
She is in love with him, but it was like, we don't want the same things.
Yes. Okay, got it. Because they don't want the same things.
Well, because she wants to travel all over the world, and he wants to, like, read a book in Ohio. And so that's fine. So in Barcelona, they kiss. And then, like, at the wedding, she's like, "Oh, why don't we talk about it when we get back to real life?" He's like, "What do you mean? This is real life." And so he's like, "This is still a fantasy for you." They have this, like, little fake argument where it seems like all is lost for a minute. So then she does a typical rom-com, like, chasing through the airport scene, but it's not chasing through the airport. She goes to Ohio, goes to his house. He's not in, and then she sees him running by because he's a runner and she hates running. But he always wears AirPods, so he can't hear anything. And so she calls after him. He doesn't hear her, so she has to run. So she's now chasing him through the streets of Ohio.
They do really always have the chase. They always have to have them run.
Yeah.
So funny. I guess we just need it as an audience. We need to see them run. So she's chasing him on his street in Ohio. She
Yeah.
can just, like, sit. I mean, he's gonna be back in 30 minutes.
That's what I said. Wait it out. He'll be back. He's got to come home. He loves home.
He went for a jog.
Yeah.
Like, let the man finish his run and just sit there and wait. Grab a big gulp.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot to say, Alex's old girlfriend, who was in Tuscany with them, who, like, he almost got married to. Poppy runs into her at the airport, and she's become a flight attendant. And she says, "I blamed you for all of my problems with Alex, and I just wish you would go away. And then you did go away, and I realized you were the least of our problems.
A good line. I like that line.
But honestly, you did me a favor. I thought I knew what I wanted from life, and it turns out I have no idea." They made her a flight attendant. So this movie's basically saying, if you like to travel, that means you're lost in life and you don't know who you are.
Right, right. Yeah, because she's also traveling. Oh, interesting. But they also gave the most thoughtful lines to a C character.
Yeah. I want to follow her.
Right, right. Yeah, what's she up to?
Yeah. So anyway, she catches Alex on the streets in Ohio, and he's like, "Poppy, what are you doing here?" And she's like, "I love you." And he's like, "Oh, I love you too." And it doesn't matter where we are.
And it's raining. It starts to rain.
It's not raining. It's sunny out. I think they're in Larchmont, though. They're supposed to be in, like, a made-up town in Ohio. But
They're like, okay, we're not going to Ohio. We'll figure out these California tax credits, as garbage as they are.
a
To shoot
million
this.
percent, because, like, Like,
in
Larchmont
Larchmont?
as, like, a part of LA, like, it looks like the Midwest, except for every once in a while, there's a Spanish-style house, and I was like, "There's a Spanish-style house in the background." Ohio does not have Spanish-style houses. I'm from Ohio. I've never seen it, but anyway, so I'm like, "Wait, this bitch is gonna live in Ohio after all that?" Oh, she quit her job too. She quit her job
Okay, so she chases him down, "I'm in love with you." I thought you said it was during the I thought when is the rain scene?
in
That's earlier?
Barcelona, they kiss,
In the rain.
and then
Okay,
you think all's good, but then she's like, "When we get back to real life, we can talk about logistics," and he's like, "This is real life, and you're still the same person," etcetera, etcetera. He leaves.
all was lost.
And then she has to, like, chase him down in Ohio.
Okay, so she's like, "I love you," and he's like, "I love you too," and then what?
Well, let me get to that. So first of all, I forgot to say she did quit her job in New York, this job that anybody would love and want. At least the movie's enough aware that like Jamil's like, I mean, I'm gonna miss you, but lots of people want this job. But like, she's like, it's the best thing you've ever written, and it's a resignation letter in which she says, I've not done enough home. I've done enough living life, but I've not done enough home. Like she's basically done all the traveling and stuff, but she forgot like the home part is also nice. So she resigns, and then she goes off to Ohio, catches Alex. They tell each other they love each other, and then I'm like, this is not a happy ending, okay? Because she did not want to live in Ohio, and it isn't. So, like, the next scene is that he's moved to New York to live in her place in New York, and like he gets a job teaching.
Okay, that's good. That's like the one modern twist to this, because if this movie had been done in the 80s or 90s or any time earlier, she would have moved into his house in Ohio.
Right, 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 right.
So at least they did that. I appreciate that.
Yes. And so she admits to him, she's like, I'm afraid of being too much. And week a year was all I thought I deserved. Like it was safe and it was all I thought I deserved. But I love you. I'm always going to love you. And their song was Paula Abdul's Forever Your Girl, which she plays on their road trip, and he's annoyed, but then they dance to it in New Orleans. It would have been a perfect time for Hey Baby, you got to remember, I'm forever your girl. It would have been a perfect time for that song, but they didn't bring it back in.
They didn't bring it back in at the end?
No. Why? Why? It would have been great.
Netflix has money to license that song for however many minutes they needed to sound that up at the end. It should have ended on that song. They
I
ended on a
know.
different song.
I know. It should have ended much earlier than it did. She goes, "So what do we do now?" And he's like, "I don't care as long as I'm with you." And then she's like,
She
"Cool."
says, "What do we do now?"
Yeah. And then he's like, "I don't care as long as I'm with you." And she's like, "Cool." And then like the next thing she's obviously gone, well then move to New York.
He should have said to her, "What do we do now?" Because I remember reading somewhere that like that's like the woman always says to the man, "What do we do now?" And the man,
Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe he does. So the opening image and the ending image are the same. Opening image, she's on vacation by herself on the beach, like by herself. Ending image, it's the same beach. We see her again. He's there. They kiss.
you think she's alone, and then they cut, and then she goes like this, and he's handing her a cocktail, and we zoom out.
I think there is a cocktail. Yeah.
It's something like that. It's like that's how we know. You think she's alone, and then it's like his hand and inserts the shot with the drink, and then we cut wide, and
Yes.
he's there. Is that the
Yeah.
shot? I'm
I think
guessing,
so.
but like
Yeah.
that's probably what they do. I'll go
Yeah.
look.
Yeah. So, yeah, 2 hours long, that movie. I hated it, and it had so much potential. There was humor at the beginning, it was beautifully shot, like, I thought it was cool looking, like and it just didn't have any depth, and I just don't know where you get that. I don't know if that's a director's fault or a writing fault, or is that the actors? Like, whose fault is that as a filmmaker? Who do you think?
There's no depth,
There's no, like, heart. There's no, like
no
I'm not, like,
heart.
rooting for these 2 people.
I mean, that could happen in so many different places along the, like, factory line, but it probably got studio noted to death.
Okay.
That would be my first guess. Just have you seen The Studio?
Yeah.
The best show ever,
So
but I
good.
saw this interview with Seth Rogen where he was like, "It's a wonder that good movies get made just because of, like, just this studio system, especially trying to make my own movies, like, it's a Christmas miracle times 1,000 that any movie ever gets made." And Seth Rogen was like, "It's a Christmas miracle times 1,000 that any good movie gets made," because people are like, "Why do all these bad movies get made?" Once you kinda learn how the studio system works, all the studio notes, there's just so much corporate that goes into art. It's like corporate and art, right? And they don't mesh, but they have to because this is a for profit. It's for profit art. I would guess that it had heart at some point and then it got noted to death. But also, I think heart comes from personal stories. And this sounds like this wasn't really anybody's story.
Right. That's actually a good point. Like, it didn't at all feel like there was anything actually lived in it. It just felt like if you were to describe a rom-com to someone, this movie would be it. It would be like, I don't know, two people can't get it together because one person has a fear of something and they're exact opposites and they've been friends forever, but other people get in the way. But, it's just like such a mix of, by the way, like she's also wearing a dress for the rehearsal dinner that I think Kate Hudson wore in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
The yellow dress?
Yeah, but it's green, but it's the same cut.
It's a great dress.
It is a great dress, but I'm just saying that there's just something about, like, I don't understand why this
Just
movie is like.
everything is rehashed. This is just everything we've done before in a blender.
Yeah, because even the rehearsal dinner was a little, it was like it could have been out of Crazy Rich Asians. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, but, like, it's like everything was taken from something else.
Okay, but isn't that what's couldn't you say that about almost anything these
No,
days?
no.
No?
I don't know. I think there's plenty of stuff out there that's actually, like, great in its own right, and, like, this just I don't know. I don't care if you borrow from other movies. I don't care. I want to give a shit about these characters. And as someone who's written like a solo show, all I do is ask myself, would anyone care about this? Or am I being
Mhm.
self-indulgent? Am I just talking about
Mm.
myself and people are like, is this generous or not? And this movie isn't generous because I don't think the writer, and I didn't read the book, so I don't know, but I don't think they put anything of themselves in it.
Well, see, that's interesting because all I ask with my writing now is this honest? So I try to go as like honest and real. Like when I'm looking at a scene, like, is this how I would really act in this scene? Like, is this real? Is this honest? And maybe there's scenes that wouldn't have been as real and honest if these were actually really happening. Can I tell you what I thought the movie was going to be? I was
Yeah,
excited
but
by
just real
the,
quick to,
like,
to this point, can I just before you do that?
yeah, yeah.
Have you ever talked to someone you know is, like, lying to you?
My
Like,
four
they're
and a half
telling
year
you
old
about
all
an
the time.
experience that you're like, "That didn't happen." Like, you ever watch a comedian and you're just like, "This didn't happen."
Yes. Yes. Ralphie I probably shouldn't say this, but, like, yeah, Ralphie used to tell these, like, really elaborate stories on stage, and you're like, "Obviously, that didn't happen." But it's killed, it would kill.
Yeah, and, like, I'll talk to comedians, like, on stage, you're like, "No," and then off stage, I remember talking to this one guy, and I'm thinking, like, "This just seems like a scene out of The Sopranos." Like, this doesn't feel I don't feel like you actually lived this. You're lying, you're
Mm,
just lying to me. And this movie just feels like it's just taking from everything else and borrowing, but not it doesn't there's not a real moment in it. There's not a moment that's like, "I lived this happened to me," and it's
mm.
like even her job is hack. Like, everything is hack about this movie.
Interesting. But it's like plug in, unplug, you know? It's like one of those movies that people would watch just to clock out of everything, but it
Yeah.
could maybe be have well, it's interesting that it's soulless. Okay, well, I would thought this was gonna be like a fun movie about like eccentric characters, it's from Australia, because usually like anytime I've traveled, there's always people from Australia. I thought it was gonna be about a bunch of like eccentric Australians on holiday that you like party with and like do crazy drugs you would never do otherwise. And like just this really fun, like the people you meet on vacation, because it really is a different kind of person. And you really can be like a little more out of the box when you're on vacation. I loved the title because I thought the promise of the premise of the title doesn't sound like it delivered because the only people we meet on this vacation is Alex and Poppy.
Yeah, it turns out the
They're the
people
people we meet on vacation. It's not other people they meet.
no, they have to meet themselves. Right, it
I
falls
would I would
flat.
rather hang out with some, like, eccentric Australians.
100%.
Okay, so let's go through the questions.
Okay.
What does she do?
She's like a journalist or a travel writer or some shit.
That is, like, one of the classic they're like a real estate agent or some sort of writer.
Or they own a cupcake bakery.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's, like, the Hallmark version. So on Netflix, they're writers.
Yes.
Netflix has to, like, level it up. What does she want?
She just wants to travel and write, I guess?
She wants to travel. Why?
I mean, she's escaping herself and porny poppy, but,
Pony Poppy.
yeah, because she can reinvent herself anywhere she goes.
Her origin story is being slut shamed in high school, and she's still running from I mean, if you get made fun of in high school, it really does ruin your life.
Yeah,
So I actually could buy that she's just running from herself, but I wish there was, like, a more fun reason for her to wanna travel.
I know, I
Like,
know.
can't you just wanna travel because 'cause you're curious, not because 'cause you're running from yourself? Okay, does she have friends?
Yeah, so There's one scene where she's spinning and she's talking to the girl next to her. You almost think that the girl next to her is just a rando, but then you realize that that person is actually invested in her problems, and so she was a friend. But at first, she really seemed like a stranger and not understanding why Poppy was talking to her.
They probably had, like, a scene earlier where they, like, established their friendship and they had to cut it.
Yeah, and then Poppy has parents, like, her mom is played by Molly Shannon, and her dad is Alan Ruck, and they're good in it. Like, they're kind of the boundaryless parents who, like, Molly Shannon buys her, like, a ton of condoms on her first trip with Alex, and she's like, "No, we're just friends," and, like, that kinda thing. But they're short-lived. I mean, like, they're not in the movie much after that, and then Alex's brother is a friend, I suppose. So she does have friends, yeah,
Okay.
but not in the way like Carrie Fisher was a friend in When Harry Met Sally.
Say more.
Well, Meg Ryan spoke to Carrie Fisher a lot about her relationship with Billy Crystal. And then, like, we heard about Carrie Fisher's like dating issues. And then Carrie Fisher even dates one of Billy Crystal's friends. And sorry, I can't remember their actual name. Harry and Sally. Wow. Anyway, like they're all like kind of full characters in their own right.
Do you think that the beating down of the Bechdel test question and women becoming more fully formed characters in cinema and this fear of two women only talking about men, do you think, like, because of that, they were like, "Oh, we can't show her having too many conversations about relationships with her friend?"
Maybe, but the only conversation we have seen her with her friend is about the man. So they wouldn't be doing a very good job.
Okay, so you don't think this movie's aware of, like, the Bechdel test and trying to pass it?
I don't think so.
And that, like, to the detriment of the female friendships.
I don't think so.
Okay, just curious if that's like the industry, like, pulls back too much, and then it's like women don't talk about anything, they're just like they're like,
No, I don't think so, because it is about the guy when they do talk. I just think that there was no time to put other people in. It's
the
already
2
2
hours.
hours.
2 hours, no time. Okay, is he good for her?
I guess, and that he was willing to move to New York and, like, he, I guess, ends up liking her quirkiness and stuff, but other than that, I don't really know what she sees in him because you don't I guess he dances and they have fun. I wouldn't fall for the dude, but I don't know, like, he doesn't seem like an asshole. And he would like, in the opposites attract way, he would balance out her flightiness with grounding, and
What's his job? What does he do?
he's a teacher.
Okay.
So, yeah, and he was willing to move to New York so that she could, like, still pursue stuff in New York and be where she wants to be, so I guess so. As dead as he was behind the eyes, I guess he was good for her.
So she got him out of Ohio,
Yeah.
but he got her to stop traveling. Do we like that?
Well, they still travel together because we saw them on the beach. So, basically, the whole message at the end, and this is my fault for not saying it, the whole message at the end is that it doesn't matter where I am, as long as I'm with you, I'm home. It's the Edward Sharpe song.
I love that song. Is that what they ended on?
Not the song, but, like, they're on the flight to on vacation, and that's what she says, and then we see them on the beach together.
Got it. Okay, that's cute. Okay, does she art?
Yes, because she goes from being, like, a workaholic, flighty person who travels all the time to somebody who can, like, ground themselves a little and commit and, like, live a life outside of leaving all the time.
Okay. And are there any scenes with her without him?
Yes, when she's talking to her boss, when she's spinning.
Well, she's the protagonist, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're on to our roast. So, is there anything else you'd like to say about this female character?
She's just so basic. I wish there was something about her that wasn't like, what makes a good female character? What makes somebody a good, like, girlfriend material? What kind of girl would guys go for? Like, she's cute, she's quirky, she's very like Zoe Deschanel. Like, it's like that kind of archetype. Like, and I just wish there was something more to her than just like, aren't I quirky and fun?
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
but I don't know what that is. And I don't know, like, what was there to Meg Ryan? Do you know what I mean? Like, did she have anything going for her?
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember what Meg Ryan even did for work. But I mean, she was Meg Ryan. She was very honest. Remember she had that great monologue where she talked about breaking up with her boyfriend or husband, how they were like so excited about the apartment they moved into and they were gonna have sex on the kitchen floor. And she talked about their relationship and then she's like, and we never did have sex on the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
It's like
This is what I
unreal
liked
monologue.
about Meg Ryan, is she was very grounded. She was like, at least in Harry Met Sally, like, she wasn't this. She wasn't this quirky, like, sprightly, "I like burritos and, like, I don't know, like, I sing to Paula Abdul and I'm fun and I bounce around everywhere." Like,
Does
she
she have
was
a monologue?
monologue. She has an inner monologue, does that count?
Kind of, maybe.
Because it's, like, what she's writing at the beginning in her article, so it's kind of an
Okay.
inner monologue.
Okay, so reframe as if it's her story, female stock character has female stock character relationship.
Yeah. Female stock character problems, and, it stock solves itself.
Great. Its stock solves itself. And then how would we do it? How would you do it?
Well, I would probably put some personality into it that wasn't like the first thing you think about when you think about 2 people having a connection, and I would probably use some real experiences to add some depth to the dialogue or something. I would give it some realness so that it just so I cared more about these 2 people.
Got it. So she never has like a real raw honest moment like Meg Ryan has in When Harry Met Sally or like we have in our real fucking lives.
Not really, and so I feel like I'm roasting the writers rather than the character. The character was fine, it was just missing, like, soul.
I mean, are we supposed to believe that she didn't give anyone a blowjob in high school?
Can we end on that? That's so funny.
Because that's the problem with everything. It's not honest. It's not real. It's
Yeah,
not honest.
yeah,
Okay, so we can actually end on that because I have to go because Scout's up.
yeah.
So let's close this out.
Alright, well, thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Let us know if you have any comments or movies you want us to watch. You can write to us at thenagpod@gmail.com. You can find us across social media at The Nag Pod. Give us a follow, subscribe, comment, like, all that stuff really helps us get seen, and, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.